Hello and welcome to Beyond Games, the YouTube gaming channel all about what's next. I'm John Jordan. So the news we're looking at today is rumour mill, but it looks like a pretty solid rumour that Discord is exploring a sale, exploring various options at the moment. Could be worth more than $10 billion. The rumour is there's quite a few articles covering this. This happens to be VentureBeat. But the article is kind of messy because it's rumour, and the process hasn't finished yet, so we don't know what's going to happen. But it looks like that Discord, well-known gaming kind of communications channel, so it's sort of like a kind of meta kind of text and voice platform. It's been going now for a number of years. Interestingly, came out of various startups. So originally there was OpenFaint, which was a mobile kind of social gaming platform, and then the founders then tried to make a MOBA. That didn't work out, and then they came up with Discord. So it's still really the place, I guess, where most gaming communities live. It's very powerful in terms of creating channels and creating bots and allowing people to kind of be part of a community, but also drill down into very specific parts of that community. And it's been growing very quickly, and while it has been mainly focused on gamers, obviously there are lots of other people who are running their communications through Discord. There's been a real success story, and now it looks like the time is right for the next phase of Discord. So at this point, it's been funded by venture capital companies. And the interesting thing about Discord is that although it's used by lots of people, millions and millions of people, it doesn't really make much money. So this is often the sort of problem that we have with these this kind of software and apps. Is you can make something that's really sticky, and people obviously spend a lot of time in Discord. You obviously have it when they're if you're playing games, you have Discord as well to kind of as a communications channel when people are playing games, or just when they're just communicating amongst themselves. But it's really hard to kind of balance having large scale and also making money. So there is this kind of premium option where you get kind of extra features and extra things. Most people don't use it, of course, because it's optional. And most people get by on the stuff you get for free. So there is always this tension with scale and monetization. And particularly because games are going through this kind of massive kind of valuation kind of delta, could call it a bubble, I suppose. Because of the pandemic in particular, there are lots more people have been spending a lot more time online, and they've been playing, amongst other things, games. And games are super hot. There's an enormous amount of money sloshing around because a lot of the central banks are now just sort of printing money to keep the economy going. That money is flowing through from rich individuals into VCs. And they want and because there's so much money floating around, then everything that has value is sort of going up in value. So it is a sort of seller's market. So it kind of makes sense for Discord to be exploring the options. They last December, that's not that many months ago, is it now? It reckoned that the company was worth $7 billion. They raised $140 million. Again, quite a lot of money. Now people are saying that if you want to buy Discord, over $10 billion. So there's a few. It says here there's a few companies who are interested. The one that's being rumoured about the most is Microsoft. So Microsoft, obviously, very strong in games with its Xbox business. Also has sort of a similar, I guess, a previous generation product in the sense of Skype. Nothing like as fluid and as kind of advanced, I suppose, as Discord. But I guess Microsoft would point to the fact that it has, integrated Skype into its kind of ecosystem. And sort of can work out ways of monetizing Discord in a way that maybe other companies can't. There's always the option that Discord could go for an IPO, or could go for a listing on the stock exchange, could become a public company. The problem it sort of faces is it's not profitable. So you can obviously kind of float a company that is not profitable, but it tends to work out better if investors can kind of see that there's some profits and not just massive losses happening. Although obviously with things like Snap, they are probably still fairly loss making. It's interesting here that there's people are saying, Discord is considered a strategic asset. So the fact that it's loss-making doesn't really matter for a lot of people. It's just seen as giving them access to a lot of scale. And if you can start pumping some different monetization options in there, it may not even be people paying to get access to Discord, but if you could start kind of directing that underlying user base into something like Xbox or Game Passes, that's what a lot of people are thinking for. Why it would be useful for Microsoft if they can sort of integrate Discord into their Xbox sort of platform, wider platform, and then that will be a sort of a inherent marketing tool to get people to play Xbox because they are already using Discord. We will wait and see on that. As I say, it is a rumor. Discord doesn't need to sell at the moment. But at some point, probably the people who have invested, if you've invested $140 million in the last round as a VC, and you can get out, if it already the value's got up from 7 billion to 10 billion to 10 billion, then the money that they put in there is already obviously worth getting on probably for $200 million. So people, the investors might be, encouraging the founders to cash out, and cashing out to someone like Microsoft would be a fairly safe bet, I would imagine. I think the other thing it just goes to show as well is that it comes back to this kind of thesis that we have beyond games. That games are just becoming incredibly important, and game sort of technologies and services are becoming very important in the wider sense. So, granted, Microsoft or maybe Amazon, whoever's interested in Discord, may already be involved in the games industry and sees Discord as a accumulation play within its existing games business, but just gamers in general, and a service that appeals to gamers, even though it's not profitable, just has this value attached to it. And that just goes to show that while games can be directly monetized very successfully, there's also these other services which just kind of play out to the wider games ecosystem that are very valuable to some of these tech companies. And that just shows how games are becoming more important, not even as games, but in the wider world, as games are things that are just inherently part of people's lives. And that flows out into our wider society and communities. So that's what we got today. Discord looking like it might be acquired for a large sum of money. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you do. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.